It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Standing by. Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check. Okay, guys, everyone be aware the car's ready to go.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
Okay, radio check, radio check. Okay, engines fired up, we're set.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow. So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside of the great city of Austin. This is a 3.6-mile lap with 20 corners, 10 to the left and 10 to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Hayes, Sainz, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Pierce, Tsunoda, Albon, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, Gasly, Ollie Behrman, and Esteban Ocon, Doohan, Lawson, Stroll, and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me for this afternoon's commentary, Naomi Schiff. Good afternoon, Gnomes. And the whole world of Formula One can't exist the way we do, walking with smiles on our faces and loving our time together. This new outfit has got a bit of a rivalry going, and I get the feeling a few noses are being put out of joint here.
Well, first of all, I'd have to say hats off to them. I don't think anyone quite expected them at this point to be as competitive as they are. And I think truly that's the reason why they're upsetting some people. If anything, it's a compliment. You're doing everything right if you're upsetting your competitors. So for now, stick to what you're doing, forget the noise, and focus on just what you guys are focused here to do. Win races and move forward on the grid.
Radio check, please. Radio check. Right, mate, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but I want you to treat it like any other race. Let's not make any unnecessary risks, please. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights. Now use DRS now available. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 6.2 seconds. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Well, that's an end to the sprint action. Next up, we'll set the grid for the Grand Prix. So we'll see you next time. It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Radio check, radio check. Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're ready to go. Okay, we seem to be having a few software issues at the moment. Sit tight for a few minutes while we reboot some things, okay? All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track. Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check. Okay, when you're ready, let's go. Check's complete. Everyone be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage.
Well, you don't need me to remind you that Formula One is now so beloved in the United States that we race here 3 times a year. But let's give respect to COTA, or the Circuit of the Americas, to give it its full name. This place laid the foundations for this moment and still remains the host of the US Grand Prix. It's 10 to the left and 10 to the right. I'm not talking about a line dance, I'm talking about the corners here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and turn 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6-mile track. But we may well see cars struggle to slow down here today as the wet weather interferes with the low-speed grip. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Russell, Oscar Piastri and Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Hayes, Antonelli and Isaac Hadjar, Pierce, Albon, Liam Lawson and Behrman, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Gabriel Bortoleto and Jack Doohan, Tsunoda, Ocon, Sainz and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check. Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get a good launch as the race starts. Keep an eye on the lights, the start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Yellow flag. Okay, we can take you this lap. Okay, fitting intermediate tyres next. We had an issue removing the right rear wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put that behind us now and get back into this race. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 10.8 seconds. issues with tyre wear for now. We'll keep taking care of them. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. Gap to your teammate ahead, 2.6 seconds. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.5 seconds. Okay, good work. Great pass. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 12.0 seconds. Final lap, final lap. Push, push. right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
Such an important victory at this stage of the season. Any points you can achieve to go towards the table is really going to mean a lot to the team. So well done as they prepare for the end of the season.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.